one of the things that I've been wanting to do is change my navigation lights to LED lights. In order to do that, you basically have to take apart this whole front piece here. You might be lucky to take the lights apart up top and you know, use a tool to try to push all of the silicone or not RTV, but probably it's 4200 that they use. There is a huge gunk underneath both navigation lights that is just really potted up with the silicone stuff, and you know, the wires don't even move. So I am going to attempt to get in there. I know that this front piece is pretty easy to take off. I've done this before. You know, you take the speaker grills off, unscrew the speakers out, and then there are some brackets for this whole piece here to come off. I'll take that off, take the mirror off, and then there's I cut a big access hole behind the mirror at one point so that I could easily get to my windlass, but I want to take this whole piece off here in the back so I could really crawl in there. I suspect that this shelf here is going to have to come off, and that might be a pretty big job. I'm not sure yet, but stay tuned, we'll keep you posted. So these are the LED navigation lights that I plan on putting on the boat. So you know, we'll see how they go. First things first is I've got to start taking everything apart. Okay, so as you can see, I got the speaker out, and then right in here, okay, on both sides, there's that screw right there. This will end up by allowing the whole, you know, the whole front piece here to come off. Okay, now obviously there are lights underneath here, so you'll have to disconnect the light. The power feed comes in on this side, I believe, and you'll have to disconnect it. I changed mine to some UV LED, so I've got quick disconnects there, but you'll have to disconnect that in order to take that piece out. And if I remember correctly, I think there are some screws underneath here. I'll go dig into that right now, but underneath this piece for the shelf to unhook, but I'll go give that a shot. Go out, be back. There's a bracket there. You take the screw, and then look behind the cloth here. There's another screw. That screw goes basically all the way through and into this. So you make sure you take that off on both sides. So once the screws are removed, that whole piece comes off, the very top piece. What it does is it tilts from the top towards the aft. So you kind of tilt it, and then you slide it out from these little hooks here in the corner from the shelving unit. Then that whole top piece comes off. Next, I'm going to remove the mirror, and then I'm going to see what it takes to take this whole piece right here. So mirror is removed. Mirror is just Velcroed, as you can see. You know, just these strips of Velcro right there. This is the bottom filler piece at the bottom of the mirror. This is the normal access hole. There's a bunch of stuff that's folded over here, but I had cut a pretty good size hole here so that I could get inside and work on my windlass a while back. If everything goes right, and I think this is the way it's going to go, big screw here, big screw there, and then another one right there. I'm hoping take those three out, and I'm hoping this whole front piece just kind of twists out of the way. Give me a few minutes to figure this out, but you know, once I remove this screw here, this one down the very bottom here, and then that one over there, this whole piece wouldn't, I couldn't move this piece. And then I kind of saw that had a big screw here, a big screw there, and it looks like at one time there was probably one there. There's another big piece out back there that this screwed on. So with that out, I am going to attempt to wiggle and get this thing out. I couldn't take this front piece off without taking the shelf. So I'm going to attempt to take one shelf off and hope that I should be able to move that out of the way. Again, you just take the caps off of these screws. There, and then up underneath. Get my finger there. There are some L brackets, or angled brackets, 90-degree angle brackets that kind of hold the shelf. You got to take the screws out of that. If you got a short, stubby screwdriver, it helps underneath this shelf. Otherwise, then it's a real pain in the butt. Removed, and so that will allow me to get access to the light a little bit easier. And let me just kind of get close in here, and you can see all the silicone that's on there on that one, starboard, and on the port light. You can see the silicone. It's a real pain in the butt. I might have been able just to poke away from up top, but I figured, what the heck. This will allow me to do a couple of things. One of the things that I noticed is I was getting water in my mid-berth, underneath my mid-berth. And when it rains a lot, or when I wash the boat, a lot of water comes down into the anchor locker here. And so there's these two drains, and lo and behold, there's nothing attached to those. And I'll bet you what's happening is, I'll double check as I work later today, but I'm thinking that when water gets in there, it drains down, it goes all the way down into my mid. So one of the projects, I might not do this today, but I will definitely grab some hoses, attach them to that, and I will put a drill through and put a drain for this anchor locker here. Stay tuned. More info coming later. Port light. Let's install. All caulked in, and so now I'm going to go do the starboard side. Well, not all back together, but pieces of it are back together. Shelf is back on. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass to line up, all of those little screws. But we got it. Too bad. I wish I had the parts for my locker drain. I'd love to be able to tie that in right now and drain it right out the side, but that'll have to be another project. But at least now I know how to take apart this front piece here, and it worked out pretty good. Got both my navigation lights on, and they look pretty good. Ciao for now.